Hey, what's up, horror fans? This is Vincent DiSanti, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of The Ghost Files. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026, and it is back. The Ghost Files is returning. Thank you, everybody who jumped into the chat and is jumping with me at the beginning of the new year. So first of all, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to the Womp Stomp Films YouTube channel. Right now, we're about 99,080 subscribers. We're clearly on our way to 100,000. So obviously want to welcome some new people this year, but saying hello to a lot of familiar faces in the chat tonight. I saw Ali Girl was one of the first people to chat. Good to see you. Lamontre, obviously good always to see you as well. Jacob in the chat as well. M13 6A1. Oh no, that's just Mitch. Oh, now I get it. Hey, Mitch, what's going on, man? You're not late. Steve DMV, good to see you. Bruce Johnson jumping in with a huge donation right off the bat. Look at this guy. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a good start to the new year. I appreciate everything you have done and are doing for the horror community. I appreciate you, Bruce, for that support. We're going to jump into a ton of stuff tonight. I have a bunch of stuff for you guys. Here's Alley Girl. We're getting stupid ice here in Texas. Yeah. As everyone hunkers down this weekend for the big, I don't know, ice vortex that I guess is going to hit us. We can definitely talk about some stuff that's going on at Womp Stomp Films, some other stuff going on in the independent horror film world and film world in general. Definitely want to use tonight to get you guys caught up on everything that I have been doing. Obviously, it's been a while since the previous Ghost Files, which I think I did before December. I didn't even look at the last time we did it, but I'll jump into some of the stuff that I've been up to and why I have been away for a little bit, but it is all for good reasons. But we've also been making a ton of progress behind the scenes as well. So that's some of the stuff I want to update you guys on tonight, and also just hang out and say hello. It's really cool to be back and up and running. It's taken me a little bit to get the system set up back up, but I'm ready to go. New look 2026. So let's jump into some stuff pretty quickly. Just checking in with you guys. So I'm going to switch my view around. Give me just a second. We've been very busy here at the Womp Stomp Film Land. Here we go, coming into the thing, and bam, check this out. I got a whole slideshow for you guys tonight. We're going to get into it, but obviously Womp Stomp Films is coming out of 2025, doing some really, really good work. We finished a bunch of Kickstarters and Indiegogo campaigns with various friends and family who are making different projects. Obviously we had the final cut, Ghost in the Fog, Ghost Chicken, and everything that came out of those campaigns. We worked with the Slay campaign, which is currently in post-production. We worked with a couple other productions that are moving down the line. So we're really excited about that. But I definitely want to jump in and talk about the Womp Stomp stuff. First of all, we did get through a majority of the Never Hike Alone 2 crowdfunding, which was a huge step as far as like just the overall production of everything we have going on here. That's something I turned my complete attention to towards the end of last year, was making sure to get out as many packages as possible. There are 53 packages left to be sent. Those are mostly for the Ghost Hawks that will be going to a lot of backers, and maybe some backers got some other things, but I did send those backers their other items in most cases. There are also some signs. Actually, I have them here with me. They're going to be going out pretty soon. So out of those 53 orders, those will be going out, and then I'll be moving on to the final cut. Now, the final cut has been sort of in stasis for a little bit. We talked about previously on previous Ghost Files that we're going to be adding scenes to it. We haven't done that yet. We're going to shoot that probably earlier this spring when it gets a little bit warmer. We're not in a huge rush because we are still waiting for Ghost in the Fog to be finished, and it is our intention to have the entire production done by November of 2026. There's going to be 3 Friday the 13th this year, obviously next month in February, then again in March, and then again in November. Our intention is to release Ghost in the Fog and Never Hike Alone, the final cut, on YouTube on November 13th at the end of the year. But previously to that, if you are a backer into the campaigns, you will see preview links. We are going to be sending you things, and we want to get you the Blu-ray before the film releases, so you'll have an exclusive first look at the film if you have checked it out. And I'll tell you more about how, if you want to grab a copy of that, we can talk about that a little bit later. But as far as the cut goes, we are adding a big opening scene that's going to involve some new narration and sort of, and what I decided on was that it was going to be the missing piece that connects Never Hike Alone to Jason Takes Manhattan. It's not going to be anything too fancy. It's mostly text and things like that, but there's going to be a nice new kind of legend of Jason Voorhees. I think it was time, sort of like, instead of rehashing things from the past, but coming up with something original. So we got something really, really cool there with some cool visuals. And then obviously we want to do the barbecue massacre scene, which going to actually, I have a little bit of a preview of. Check this out. I got to make myself little Vinny. There we go. Boom. So I do have some updates as far as this goes. This is where we're going to shoot the scene. There is a little callback to Friday the 13th, part 8, which is really, really fun. See if you can notice it right there, our Statue of Liberty there in the backyard. Anyway, this is going to be the general area in which we film the backyard massacre scene. This is just an empty field right now, but when the production team gets a hand of this little patch of grass, we're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of people kind of hanging out in this backyard, and we're going to make some really cool kill scenes to add to the final cut, just to make that a little bit more fun for everybody, and a little bit more worth it. In the meantime, where we've been spending most of our time is with Never Hike Alone, Ghost in the Fog, which is the first animated Friday the 13th fan film that's been crowdfunded so far. We had a very successful campaign last year on Indiegogo, and those things are cruising on through. So what we have been doing is we've been in animation. We completed the sneak preview, which we launched last year on Halloween, which did very well. We see that you guys got a lot of, you guys really, really liked that. If you haven't seen it yet, there is a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out. And it should have been playing before this video even went live. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out there. But we have moved on in animation, not just the scene where our character of Dom is murdered, but we're moving on to the next scene where our final girl, Lana, is on the run. So I want to show you guys a couple of updated stills that we released this week to the backers. This is Lana getting up from falling down the hill. She finds her way into a canoe. She looks back and Jason is on the shore. She knows she's screwed because Jason is coming after her. We're having a lot of fun with this scene. This scene is just about wrapped up. There's a couple of shots that are just coming in now that need some finalization. There is one specific shot that is coming in that I'm telling you is like, it's so much fun to want to do this in animation. And guys, if you guys are leaving comments right now, I don't see them because I have all the media stuff up. So I will get to comments later. If you have questions, definitely hang on to them. Hang on to questions until we get to the end of the stream. Right now, I'm just going to basically rip through everything, and then I'm going to open up for questions at the end of the video, and then we'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. There's a lot going on, so I'm sure we can dive into a ton of different topics. But as far as Ghost in the Fog goes, we're still going to be grinding in animation all the way into March. Those things should be ready around then, and we're probably going to be announcing some premiere stuff and where those are going to happen. But in other news, when it comes to sort of the perk and the fulfillment side of it, one cool update that we do want to share that I didn't get a chance to share prior in the update was the 7-inch animated Jason statues are almost done. You can see here they are in the painting process right now with Brandon Scott Murphy at Sculpt or Die. I'm very excited about these guys coming in. As soon as these guys come in, we're going to be moving on to the Ghost Chicken 3D models. Anyone who ordered a NECA Ghost Jason or a 1/6 size cloth figure that we showed a couple of months ago on this, those are also in progress and should be done pretty soon. A lot of those things are basically on the finish line. They're just going to be sent out to us, and then things that have to do with the final cut of or Never Hike Alone, the final cut, and then Ghost in the Fog, anything that has to do with like posters and t-shirts and things of that nature, you're going to start seeing those things start to ship out throughout the course of the year. And then we're just going to ship everybody their Blu-rays at the end of that cycle. Part of that too is that we're going to have the box set, which is really, really cool. Obviously, we need to finish the final cut and Ghost in the Fog. We're going to put that on the final disc, and then that disc is going to be placed into this box set. And then these box sets are going to be sent out around the world. Basically, is the last thing that will be shipped out, and that will basically conclude the journey right now for Never Hike Alone. Never Hike Alone 3 is still sort of up in the air a little bit as far as what we're doing with that. But while we're here, in case you haven't seen it, I have a copy of the box set right here. So this is sort of like what it looks like in the flesh. I obviously don't have the final cut, but you know, we have Never Hike Alone, you know, and then let's see. Oh, there's the Ghost cut, which looks really rad. This is actually not the cover of the Ghost cut we're going to use for that, but it does look cool like that. This is Never Hike Alone 2. And then Never Hike in the Snow. And then I don't have the final cut yet because we don't have the final cut yet. But as soon as I do, we will bring that in, obviously, and that will be fun. Another thing I do want to update everybody on, which you can get a little preview right here, is that the Never Hike Alone official game is still in production. Robert and I were supposed to meet this week, and our schedules got a little bit crossed, so we are meeting early next week. But here's a little sneak preview, or I should do this way, a little sneak preview of all of our characters across the board. We got Adam, we got Vicky, we got Noah, we got Christy, and we got Dave. And so those are a kind of first look at our characters. They are going to be tweaked. We have had some issues. We tried to port the game over to another type of this isn't my forte of stuff, but they wanted to do it on a different platform, and so they tried building it for a little bit there. We realized that that is not exactly what we want to do, so we went back to the original platform, which I believe is an Unreal Engine, and they're back there working now, making a ton of fixes to bugs and things like that, because we want to get a beta out. So this is still available along with the box set, along with all of those different things. The Ghost in the Fog campaign is still open. We're probably going to be open through March 13th, I think, is the push. I'm sort of not super happy with the way Indiegogo has updated their website. I'm going to do my best to update the campaign over the next couple of weeks and get something for a final push. I basically want to do a final call for credit. So if you don't have a credit in the movie yet, now's the time to get it. We're going to close credits. We're going to start building our final credit reels. I've reached out to missing persons in the film, so you're going to get an animated version of yourself in the film on a missing persons poster, which will be part of the end credit sequence. It's going to be really cool once you see it. I think you guys are going to dig it. And then some of you may be posted out throughout the movie too, which will be really cool. So we're going to be working on that. And let's see, I have so many other things to update you guys on. So yeah, the game will be coming soon. As far as beta, I mean, I don't know about coming soon, like it's coming the next day, but we are working on it, and I will have updates soon on it for when those betas will be released. Things are moving very well for Ghost Chicken. The t-shirts order is in. The tote order has been completed. The poster order has been completed. Basically, everything that's not the book has been completed. As far as pages go, there are 54 pages. All 54 pages have been rough penciled. They're going through a revision pass right now. That's probably going to take another month. And then we're going to start colors. And then after that, we're going to colors and inks. And then we're going to finish with lettering, get the finalization of the book all set and done, and then print that, and it should ship out pretty fast. So if you've already supported Ghost Chicken, expect your stuff in early April. And if you haven't, there is a link in the description of this video if you want to go support that campaign and pick yourself up our debut graphic novel, Ghost Chicken, horror comedy about a vegan restaurant haunted by the ghost of the chicken and the one girl determined to figure out why. There's also been a ton of progress on the Ghost Chicken animatic. We got in touch with our voice cast. I have an editor working on it right now. We've been doing updates to the cut, and we should have a fresh version of that to share with some internal people to see what it would cost to get animated, and we may be taking it into the animation realm down the line, and also be able to announce some really cool casting news about it, because there are some voices you may recognize who are actually in the movie. So that's going to be pretty cool. In other news, I have told you guys about The Bonding, which is a short film that I wrote about a young couple dealing with the fact that one of them is turned into a werewolf. I wrote it with my good friends Stephen, Tim, and Mike. They were, I think, if you guys remember the story, it kind of came out of the Jason versus the Wolfman original concept, and I blended it into something that was an original sort of horror story. Anyway, it has been cleaning up at the festivals since I have been gone. I think I did announce that we did win the Tokyo Horror Film Festival. We got third place at Film Quest. We were a finalist at Vancouver Horror Show. I was the first runner-up at Fright's Camera Action screenplay contest. It's just been announced, and this is the announcement for it, but we are going to be a finalist at the Horror Hound Spring Festival. And the script was also a finalist in the Los Angeles International Film Festival. So 6 pretty solid laurels there for it. There's more stuff coming up. So I'm really, really excited about answering some news about The Bonding and where that's going, and whether or not I'm going to take that into short script form and make that film, or I am trying to complete the feature film right now. I'm actually 90 pages in of probably 115 to 120 page script. So I'm really excited about possibly being able to finish The Bonding as a feature and start getting that into the circuit, as well as in front of some important people soon, to see if we can get this film made and that be another feature that I work on very, very soon. Speaking of film festivals, those of you in the New England area, the New Bedford Film Festival will be taking place this year from April 9th to 12th, 2026. As you may know, I am a board member, I am the tech director, and I also a judge. Many of you had submitted your films for consideration. We have been watching those films. I'm actually up to 90 films, which is really, really cool. We had 220 films total. So thank you to everybody who submitted to this year. Our judges are cranking through films right now. We have the selection committee will be making our decisions well before this, but official selections will be announced on February 12th at 2026 as a part of an AHA event in New Bedford at the Zeiterion Theater. So if you're in the area and you want to check it out and you want to hear which films have been selected, definitely come out and do that. But we'll also be announcing that on Film Freeway, as well as on the New Bedford Film Festival website. So definitely check those out. And whether you're in the festival or you're just an interested filmmaker, I definitely want to invite you to come down again April 9th to the 12th to New Bedford. It's a great time. There's a lot of networking. We're going to have a lot of great films. There is going to be a very specific film block called the Whaling City Horror Show, where I'm going to highlight some of the best horror films that I've seen over the last year on the film circuit, some of them being local New England, some of them being friends from all over the country who have submitted their films, and all over the world, really. So definitely come out and check that out. If you're a horror fan, we definitely have a slot for you. But this is a film of all, like, this film festival is all genres, so definitely come and check that out. Last but not least, before I dive into some one specific thing, yeah, since we last talked, I one of the reasons why we didn't have another Ghost Files before the end of the year last year was I got a phone call from a former colleague, and about a project that was abandoned many, many years ago. I was an assistant on that movie. I was getting ready to work on it, and right before we were about to shoot it, it went away. Anyway, many, many years in a classic Hollywood story. This film has got a new life, and it is coming fast. And I'm very happy to say that I got a phone call, and I feel very fortunate for the fact that there's a project coming up that I'm going to be able to work on that I'm really proud of. And I've been waiting for this film for a long, not necessarily waiting for it, but it was definitely one that was the one that got away a long time ago. And being able to work on it now is going to be a real thing. Now, I can't announce it yet, but I'm just going to give you guys a hint. If you guys saw my a story from a few weeks ago, it was shared that a project is out there. If you want to follow stuff over the next few weeks, I will give you a heads up that in about a week, we're going to make an announcement. And then sometime in mid-February, you're going to see an even bigger announcement and launch of something that's going to be very, very cool for anyone who has ever worked with me on the in the independent world or in sort of any crowdfunding space. You know that I've been sort of looking for projects that I think can break the mold and get a little bit more of a direct involvement of the fans, that fans can become a part of the success of a film. And this is going to be something that's going to be really, really cool. And I'm super stoked to be a part of it. I can't say what it is yet. Maybe some of you have seen it. If you want to put it in the chat, if you've seen, the stories and stuff like that, maybe I can talk about it. It has been soft announced on red carpets and things like that, but it's a project that's slowly coming together that involves a lot of really, really cool people. I was called out to Los Angeles to work on it for a few days and get something. Yeah, I think you'll recognize something that I do fairly well coming out pretty soon. And then we're going to get a little bit more into the actual production of the thing and announcements of who's involved and all that stuff's coming after. So if if you're excited for Womp Stomp Films and our trajectory and what we have going on for the new year, definitely keep an eye out for announcements with stuff that looks like this. It's blending a lot of different things together that I love. It is not a horror movie. It's actually a comedy movie. And I'm really excited for it. So with all that said, I'm going to jump into a couple more things that I want to address of just far as like what we can look for this year as far as Friday the 13th goes and what Womp Stomp Films is up to for sort of Friday the 13th this year. Obviously, we're aiming for November 13th for the release of both of our films, but there are two other Friday the 13th prior to that. Hopefully for those Friday the 13th, my goal is to get some really good guests on, to have some Friday the 13th marathons, maybe to do my Friday the 13th ranking. We won't be releasing things like Womp Stomp has had a pretty good streak of releasing things on Friday the 13th, but I think it's time to turn the reins over to our good friends at the Jason Universe. It's time, I think, for the Jason Universe to step up and start doing things on Friday the 13th and helping things at the Friday the 13th fandom court. As far as like being able to lead in this adventure, because it's time for sort of like the first year jitters to kind of go away. Now it's the time that we need to see what the Jason Universe has in store for Friday the 13th fans, now that there's a little bit of momentum and sort of a learned progress of what they had with Sweet Revenge, what they had with all the video game releases, and what else is going on. And if they've finally made a decision about making a feature film, which is what everybody wants to know about. So it'd be really great if we could get some news sometime between February 13th and March 13th to get fans excited. I think that would be a really good window. I was actually sad to hear that Peacock's Crystal Lake series isn't going to be releasing until December of 2026. Now, I'm a big proponent for the show. I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to everything that Brad Caleb Kane and his team is putting together. He's built a really, really talented team to put this series together. If there's ever been a chance to tell Pamela's story, this is going to be it. I thought this series would be ready by March. It's obviously a labor of love to get these things done. I know you need as much time as possible. To have the Friday the 13th dates flying by and not have much from this yet, that's sort of a letdown. But maybe my prediction is let's keep an eye out for a series preview sometime between February 13th and March 13th, which I think will help put the Band-Aid on sort of the open wound that is the relationship with the Jason Universe and the Friday the 13th fan base right now. I mean, I saw today someone who I greatly respect and actually who I want to have as a guest on the show kind of openly rip the Jason Universe. And I think it's at this time where it's like, it's now or never. I really do hope that they turn it around because I want to see good Friday the 13th content moving forward. Oh, by the way, guys, speaking of good Friday the 13th content, let me just put that away for a second. I didn't even get to show you. I'm wearing the shirt. Check this out, right? Long sleeve shirts are in. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, yeah. So this side, hike alone, die alone, and then all the kills on the back. So yeah, if you ordered these are shipping out now. I'm just waiting on the lightning for the lightning one, and anybody who got those is gonna get those pretty soon as well. So, oh no, it's being a shit. Give me a sec. Ugh. There we go. Now we're all picking. Now it's there we go. Anyway, so let's jump into some comments. I've kind of gone into all that stuff. Comments, let's pull that up. I'm going right to the bottom. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the Jason Voorhees golf balls. That'd be funny. This is so dang long. What is so dang long? I did hear that Sweet Revenge got taken down, and it was what I reported was the fact that there was just it was the end of the campaign, and in order to put the campaign up, I think there was just more. They didn't have a deal worked out for that, so they just ended up taking it down, which is kind of a shame. But when you look at sort of like the landscape of YouTube, I don't think the Jason universe was quite satisfied with what YouTube had to offer as far as a platform to release content. I don't think that they were necessarily impressed with the numbers. I have to say, to and agree with them that I've seen very popular channels lose millions of views because of the new algorithm, because they're not going to be, they don't see Jason Universe as some like magical thing that they're gonna promote on their own at YouTube. They don't care. I mean, it has to fight through the algorithm just like anyone else. So why would they do that instead of being on a platform that would actually push it? So I have a feeling that you're going to see Sweet Revenge get its second day in court on another streaming platform at some point. I don't know if that ends up being a Cineverse or a Blumhouse, or maybe there's another streaming platform that ends up happening. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. That's too long for Crystal Lake to premiere on Peacock. I know. I'm really upset. I think Crystal Lake would be a good story. Caleb Kane does a good job with Pennywise show. Yeah, no, I think that a lot of people like the Pennywise show. Some people don't. But I'm remaining optimistic. Every time I go to watch it, I have a problem with HBO right now, so I haven't been able to finish it. I know you keep getting me on Rumble, and I tried it. I just haven't been able to keep up with it. Let me see what else is going here. You might as well quick sequel to Five Trucks Escape from Crystal Lake. Honestly, we could. I mean, Brian, he's probably in the chat somewhere. I mean, he wants to do it. We want to do a Halloween one though, like 5 Ways to Escape Haddonfield, and so we're gonna do all like sedans, and like fast cars and stuff like that, or maybe like track SUVs, you know what I mean, like a Track Hawk, a McCann, or whatever else we can get. I don't know, whatever Brian can get his hands on, we'll drive it around and we'll work out some type of funky story where people get killed and people drive off in cars. I think that was pretty fun. I think that 5 Cars to Escape Crystal Lake was hilarious. If you guys haven't watched that, it is a blast. We had a blast making it. Thanks again to Brian and everybody down there for bringing us down. Me and Kaiden, it was fun to throw it together. It was a real like shot in the arm of just making something, but we had a good time. So let's see. Boom. Let's see. I really do want Crystal Lake to work. I caught a look at Crazy Ralph and I was not disappointed. Yeah, actually, that's somebody I need to reach out to too, is because we've reached that. Look at him. There he is. He said he knew the truck would win. Use a BMW in the Halloween. All right, Brian, you hear that? We got to get Beamer. Do some stuff. Let me see. I am curious. I assume Ghost in the Fog is canon to the rest of the series. If so, where in the series does it take place? So it takes place in between Manhattan and Disappear. No, Manhattan and Never Hike in the Snow, because Disappear is pretty much right away. I would say it's a couple years after Disappear. Maybe 2008, 2009. Somewhere in that sign of like no man's land, where Jason had really kind of like honed his craft for just collecting bodies and stuff like that, before he really kind of hampered down and by the Never Hike Alone time. So Never Hike Alone take place in 2017. This probably took place in like 2009, 2010. Let's just say 2009, just out of respect for that awful remake. Let's see. Let me see. Who's this? Oh, dude. Hey, what's up, Brandon? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right. Any other questions, you guys? No, nothing on the Ghost Roy story. I mean, guys, right now, Never Hike Alone is, in terms of like new material, is really on the back seat as far as like other stuff that's going on right now. This project that I kind of teased is going to be taking over a large part of my life for the next few months, or at least in the next few months it will, and then for a few months I will be completely consumed by it, and probably a lot through the rest of the year. So there's other things that I'm working on to get done afterwards. Um, but I really got to kind of focus down on it because it's a really big opportunity. And so hopefully, I mean, I'll be able to bring you guys on the trip with me. There's going to be a little bit of travel going. Um, I know I promised before Christmas too, but I promise they're coming. And I hopefully you saw it. I will bring them back up because I don't forget. I never forget a favor, but they're there. That's they're ready to go. They're almost there. But with all the cold weather and stuff like that, it's just hard for the artist to finish painting, because the paint just won't set right. So he's working on that. But that one in front is basically what it looks like when it's all said and done. So the kids are gonna love it once they get it. I'm so pumped about them. I can't wait to get the one that I have for myself. In the meantime, I do have this guy that a fan made me. Pretty cool, huh? The guy took one of the Tiny Toons ones and painted them like all black and white. So I do have fun stuff here. Anyway, where was I? Somebody was asking me questions. I hope one day I get murdered by Ghost Jason on screen, though. I guess that complicates the missing person poster being so early in the timeline. We'll figure it out. Plus, you're going to be animated. You should come out for the barbecue scene. The figures should be available on the website on Indiegogo. If they are not there, just email me, um, my good friends, at wompstompfilms@gmail.com. Uh, and we can just go through PayPal and I'll put you on the list, for people who want those things. If you see anything or if you've seen anything that you were like, hey, I really, really want that, usually PayPal is the way to just kind of take care of it right away. I kind of prioritize those orders just to get them done because they're very one and done. But I will be working on all of the new campaigns as far as like shipping and all that stuff. That's one of the things I want to get done before I end up taking off. Um, it's going to be in late March, early April in New England. So I'll give you all the details. Um, Let me see. Who's this? You doing a fan film? Got to do my fan film. I finished my story. So I had Alley Girls. I had to off Alley Girls character. It's funny. Um, but yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying before. Yeah. As far as like Never Hike Alone and stuff goes, like I still want to do Never Hike Alone 3. I have ideas for all of that stuff, but I feel like it is time. It's been hard for me to do it, but I think it really is time for me to like step away from Never Hike Alone for a little bit and just let people like I've seen like Joe Gallo post stuff. I've seen a lot of fans post stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the thing I posted on Facebook the other day. Somebody did like a transition of all the Jasons and it went through all of them and it went all through all the way to Savini Jason. And all of a sudden, like right at the end, it switched into Ghost Jason as like this thing. And this was something that's been passed around and like is seen by a ton of people. And it was just really cool just to be included in that. And I think it's time to just kind of sit back and enjoy it for what it is right now. I think one day it can come back. The Never Hike Alone 3 story is timeless. It doesn't have to happen right away. Um, it will always be there. I always have a chance to do it, but I'm still working on some stuff like the bonding, like this project that's coming up, and some other things that there's another project too that's in the background right now that once everybody gets back from Sundance, we got to talk to another group about getting that movie done. There's a couple other projects that I'm going to collab with people on that I'm really, really excited about that I can't wait to announce. I know that Cortland Gordon is working on something really cool. I think I showed you guys like the Star Wars related horror film that he's working on, that we shot last year, that I can't wait for you guys to see the stunt work that we did in that. We have some other projects that we're going to crowdfund this year that I know you guys are going to love. We're working with some really cool people there. So definitely keep an eye out for all this stuff. So everybody's wondering, like, Vinny, what are you doing? Oh, you know what? In fact, shout out to Scrap House. Any of my Muay Thai people out there, get jealous about that hat. You definitely got to check out Scrap House Muay Thai. They're doing a launch on Kickstarter. In February, it's going to be for something called the Scuffle Duffel, which is if you are a mixed martial artist and you need a bag that is rigid and can hold all of your different things in compartments, and so it's not a big soupy mess in your bag. Definitely check out the Scuffle Duffel. I will be sending out codes for people, literally out of the kindness of my heart. This is a guy who trained with a friend of mine back in Los Angeles. I saw what he was doing. It's something that I think a lot of people need in that space. I know I don't do a lot of Muay Thai stuff here. Maybe I need to do Womp Stomp Muay Thai channel, do that as a whole other side venture. Um, but yeah, I mean, martial arts, I mean, has always been a big part of my life in some way through most of my life, and there've been periods where it's not. But like, if you guys don't know me yet, I train Muay Thai 3, 4 days a week. I love it. In fact, I'm gonna be at the Providence Place Mall tomorrow. Uh, we're doing a class at the mall. This is gonna be fun. Anyway, anyway, check that out. I mean, I'm always just trying to pitch stuff for people and get projects that are out there that should be looked at. Let me see. I want to get some more questions. Oh, hey, my girlfriend is listening to the stream with me. Want to say hi to Blair? Hi, Blair. Hi, Blair. How you doing? Look at you, Jacob, you stud, taking girls on ghost file dates. Look at man, you got up your game. The original Womp Stomp Films projects are the most exciting. Thank you, Tyler. Hey, Tyler, good to see you, man. I'm actually can't wait to see you. I can't wait to work with you on them. Bonding is getting very, very close. Just like I pitched you in Arizona, it's going to be a lot of fun. Look at Al; he's even saying hello. Um, thanks, man. That really thanks. I appreciate that. Gotta get paid. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. It's like yeah, I don't wanna give it away, but, keep an eye out in Odyssey the Odd, it's gonna blow up. Um, yeah, no, I think the same thing. It's just time for me to kinda step back and, like, just let people miss it. You know what I mean? Just let people appreciate sort of what we did, the fact that, like, this was a completely 100% underground independent venture, funded by fans. I know it's taken a long time to get done, but as I tell everyone, like, all anyone has to do, whether you're backing the film or you're helping on the film, is you just need to help out for that one time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one who still has to sit here and, um, make sure everything is done, and that's what I've been doing ever since, you know what I mean? So, I taken on that responsibility. I'm very, serious about seeing it all the way through. We have been making a ton of progress, obviously, getting through everything. Getting through Never Hike Alone 2 was, like, the biggest accomplishment, and then after that, it was, running off to this project and working on that, and then I got to spend some time with my family. I have a young nephew who is, almost 2. It was very nice to spend some time with him, out with him and my brother and his family and the rest of my family out there for the holidays. Enjoyed the New Year, brought the New Year in Flagstaff, which was a lot of fun, watched the pine cone drop. And then other than that, I've just been busy, 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 working on all these different projects. That mystery project was definitely one that, like, a couple of Friday nights here, I was on calls, I was doing edits. Right now, in fact, the Womp Stomp Films team is working on stuff for that right now, where we're just like spicing it up and making it friggin' awesome. And I can't wait to show you guys what that's all about. And once you see who we're working with, you're gonna be like, what the hell? This is gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, yeah, it was little. I don't want to throw out too much information, but he's my little buddy, and we get along great. It was so much fun having that bonding time is really, really important. And so I'm really just proud of my brother. It was good to see my other brother as well. The three of us, when we get together, it's always a ton of fun. And shout out to my New England Patriots with the easiest schedule in the NFL, just smoking teams left and right. As soon as you are the best team in the world, and as soon as the Patriots beat you, you're just a garbage trash team that anyone could beat because the schedule. This is the funniest. This is the funniest season of the NFL I've ever seen. Trolling fans has probably been one of my favorite things. All right, guys, we've been going for about 42 minutes here. Probably not going to be on too late. I just didn't want to jump on. I kind of wanted to jump into a bunch of stuff and just get everybody updated on what we're doing on. I'm a huge fan of Bottle Rocket. Looking forward to what's coming next for you. Well, thank you very much. It's a great shout out. You're definitely on to something there on who we're collaborating with. I think it's great that he's an uncle. Just wait until you see how great cousin Vinny is. Yeah, right. That's what we need. Oh, don't talk about stupid football. Jacob, he said you're awesome. Seattle's going to win Super Bowl 60 anyway. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Seattle definitely has a they got a chip on their shoulder and they're playing really, really well. They just have Sam Darnold at quarterback. Let me see. You ready for this freaking cold weekend, dude? I cannot get enough. I love the snow. I love everything about the snow. I was thinking, I totally forgot we have like a bunch of sledding hills here in town. I'm definitely gonna have to get myself a sled and get out there and get crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm actually gonna be spending the weekend hunkered right here, cutting and doing graphic design, and a whole bunch of stuff for this project, and then doing meetings with people next week, and then launching the project, the preview for it next week. Um, Again, this is really cool. I just want to like I want to give you guys a heads up. If you guys like supporting our projects and you have had an experience where you feel like you've gotten what you've paid for, this project that's coming up is going to be a different type of project that we've never done it this way before. As far as like what I've done, it's definitely something that's been done for with other people. This is a step up for us in a lot of different ways. But the reason why we're taking a step up is because the investment of what you're investing in, you're going to see that it's sort of much bigger than anything we've had here at the studio before. It's not a Womp Stomp Films sole production. We are actually just helping on it as far as that we've helped kind of like um, get some crew and going to be doing some other stuff too. I've got a really cool responsibility that I can't wait to officially announce one day. But until then, I'm just super stoked with everything that is coming together for that project. It's good to be working with the team again. So we are working on something right now. And then, like I said, Ghost in the Fog, guys. Every time I watch the reels, every time I see an update on it, there's just like I said, there's just one new shot that is just like, mwah. When you guys see it, you're gonna flip out. And I think what we're gonna try to do is throw together a trailer. I have an idea of how that's gonna work, and I think once we have that, we're gonna have a couple few highlighted shots, and that's gonna be one of the highlighted shots to help sell you guys. So hopefully keep an eye out for that in the next month. I think we can throw that together pretty quickly. But other than that, let me just go down here and see if there's any last minute questions. Miss the snow might pop over to Tahoe to try to catch some. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the ice definitely sucks. Never hike in the snow and ice. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down momentarily. I just want to thank you guys again for being here with me. I'm just getting my media assets up. Oh, there it is right there. Well, well, well. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, so I will be back in a couple of weeks. I probably won't be here next week. Week after that, I believe, is a maybe. Um, but let's try to go every other week from here on out. I think the week after next actually will be okay. And then we're going to be checking in. Obviously, we're going to be coming back definitely on Friday the 13th. So if you don't hear from me until then, Friday the 13th will definitely be the day that we'll be back with some special guests. We'll make those announcements. And as things get launched with these new projects, I will be making updates on those too. So keep an eye out on the Womp Stomp Films social media, because I will start to post to there pretty soon with some brand new stuff. And if you haven't checked out any of the stuff on the channel before, and this is your first time on the Ghost Files, thank you again for joining me. Check out everything on this page. If you're a big fan of Friday the 13th, you're going to love it here. There's also some great independent horror stuff, as well as some Halloween fan films, other Friday the 13th fan films, Nightmare on Elm Street fan films, and then, of course, our original horror section, which you should definitely check out. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Have a great and wonderful cold weekend. Stay warm, stay in, and remember to never hike in the snow. See you on the trails, everybody.